Warmest greetings to all my incredible subscribers and new viewers alike. Welcome, curious minds, to our video that explores the ins and outs of Annie Cordy. Léonie Juliana, Baroness Cooreman, 16 June 1928 for September 2020, also known by her stage name Annie Cordy, was a Belgian actress and singer. She appeared in more than 50 films from 1954 and staged many memorable appearances at Bruno Coquatrix's famous Paris Olympia. Her version of Ballade de Davy Crockett was #1 in the charts for 5 weeks in France in August 1956. She was born in Laeken, Belgium, where in 2004, King Albert I of Belgium bestowed upon her the title of Baroness in recognition for her life's achievements. Prepare yourself for an in-depth analysis of early life in this section. Cordy was born in the Brussels suburb of Laeken, Belgium, the daughter of Maria de Leeuw and Cornelius January Cooreman. She had a brother, Louis, and a sister, Jean. At the age of 8, her mother enrolled her in a dance class. She learned piano and music theory while pursuing her studies and participated in charity galas. Between the dance numbers, she sang the hits of the day. Artistic director of Lido encouraged her to leave Brussels, her hometown, and Annie Cordy arrived in Paris on 1 May 1950 to be hired as a lead dancer. As we progress, let's zoom in on and examine its role in shaping our overall narrative. Cordy recorded her first songs in 1950 to Les Trois Bandits de Napoli, Conseil aux autos de passe, La Bordure de Montagnard, and made her debut in the musical La Route Fleurie, alongside Georges Gutteri and Beauvais. This lasted until 1955. Then she made her film debut in 1953 when she appeared as herself in Bound sur Paris, next to Jacques Pills and Armand Bernard. That same year, she had her first hit record with bonbons, caramels, Escrima, Chocolates Orlan. In 1954 she starred in April Fool's Day as Charlotte Dupuis, alongside her friend Beauvais, Louis Stephens, Denise Gray, and Maurice Béraud. The film was a big success with almost 3 million ticket sales. She also played Madame Leroy in Sacha Guitry's Royal Affairs in Versailles, with Michel Leclerc, Jean-Pierre Aumont, Jean-Louis Barrault, Beauvais, Gino Cervi, Claudette Colbert, Nicole Corsel, Daniel Glynn, Jean Marais, Giselle Pascal, Edith Piaf, Gerard Philippe, Michelin Pressel, Tino Rossi, Orson Welles, and Nicole Maury. The film was the movie in France in 1954. It is still one of the 100 most successful films at the French box office of all time, the 89th highest grossing title. In 1955 her song Fleur de Papillon became a hit. She also starred in 2 motion pictures. First, Hello Smile, directed by Todd Sautet, with Henry Salvador, Louis Stephens, Dory Cowell and Jean Carmet, and an Italian comedy, Beautiful but Dangerous, in which she just made a short appearance. In 1956 she starred as Cricri in A Chante de Mexico, directed by Richard Potier, with Luis Mariano, Beauvais, and Fernando Rey. The film was again a big success, with almost 5 million tickets sold, and it was at the box office for 1956 and of all time in France. At the same time she had a hit on the song charts with the French version of the Ballade of Davy Crockett, which stayed at #1 for 5 weeks in France in August 1956. In 1957 she played Titine in a West German remake of Victor and Victoria, directed by Carl Anton. That same year, she starred in her second musical, Tite de Linnet with Jean Richard, which lasted until 1960. In 1958 she had other musical hits, such as Hello le Soleil Brille from the movie The Bridge on the River Kwai or Dr. Miracle. She returned to Tabarin, where she played Mimi under the direction of Richard Potier for the second time. This was the leading role, and she starred alongside Michel Piccoli, Sylvia Lopez, Misha R., Jermaine Dammer, Jean Lefebvre, and Isabelle Corey. In 1959 she had several musical successes, including her version of Petite Fleur, Soleil de Fruits or Cigarettes, Whiskey et Petites Peas from the movie with the same name. She starred in this movie with Pierre Mondi, Nadine de Rothschild, Jean Carmet, Jean Richard, and Franco Interlinghi. In 1960 she played in Robert Vernet's Tight Fall alongside Jean Richard. Prepare yourself for an in-depth analysis of in this section. From 1961 to 1964, Cordy starred in her third musical, opposite Luis Mariano, named Visa pour l'amour, featuring the hit Visa pour l'amour. In 1964 she sang the hit song Six Roses. From 1965 to 1967, she had the leading female part in Our, another musical with Bourvil. This musical featured the hit Le Petit Coup de Chance. At the same time, back in cinema, she played Lily in Ces Dames Semblentes, directed by Roland Andre, with Eddie Constantine and Nino Ferrer. She also made a cameo in Lord Duduc, directed by Jacques Bourracha, with Claude Rich, Danielle Dorieux, Elsa Martinelli, Pierre Bourgeois, Jean Richard, and Charles Trenet. In 1967, she played Maurice in Ces Messieurs de la Famille, directed by Roland Andre, with Francis Blanche, Michel Serrault, Dory Cowell, Jean Poiret, Jean Yan, Michel Galabru, and Eddie Constantine. In 1968 she starred in Pig et Peach, a musical with her friend Dory Cowell. In 1969 she played Marthe in Le Bourgeois Gentilmick. It was the third time that she was directed by Roland Andre, and the movie also stars Jean Lefebvre, Dory Cowell, Francis Blanche, and Bella Davy. The 1970 year was very successful for Cordy. She worked for the fourth time with Roland Andre in the movie Ces Messieurs de l'Ogchet, a sequel of Ces Messieurs de la Famille. She signed on for her role as Maurice, and the movie also featured Francis Blanche, Jean Poiret, Michel Serrault, Dory Cowell, Micheline Dax, and Patrice Laffont. She also played for Clement, the role of Juliet in Rider on the Rain, alongside Marlon Jobert, Charles Bronson, Jill Ireland, and Gabriella Tinti. The movie was a big success. It was the movie at the box office in 1970 in France. Also that year, she was directed by Claude Chabrol as Pinelli in the Breach. She starred alongside Stéphane Autran, Jean-Pierre Castle, Michel Bouquet, and Jean Carmet. On top of her success in cinema, she also had a musical hit, The Chachou de Mon Coeur. As we enter this new chapter, let's navigate the complexities of and unravel its multifaceted nature. In 1971, she played Nellie in Le Chat, directed by Pierre Granier de Fer. The film also starred Jean Gabin and Simone Signoret, and was very well received, with more than 1 million tickets sold. She also started a new musical, Indian Vaut Mieux que du Toulouse, where she starred with Pierre Doris. In 1972, she starred in the titular role of the French version of Hello, Dolly. She also played Brigitte in Les Galets Streetet. The movie is directed by Sergio Gobbi and starred Verna Lisi. Then, she played Andrew in Les Portes de Fou, alongside Emmanuel Riva and Jacques Balutin. In 1973, she played Nina in Très per una grande rapina, with Michel Constantin and Adolphe Selli. She also played in La Dernière Bourse Paris, in which she worked for the fifth time with the director Roland Andre and starred alongside Francis Blanche, Roger Cuddio, Micheline Dax, Michel Galabru, Marion Game, and Tony Kendall. She played in El Court La Banlieue, directed by Gerard Pears and starring Marv Keller, Jacques Heidlin, Robert Castel, Jeanette Leclerc, Claude Piplou, Alice Saprich, Victor Lano, Daniel Provost, Coluche, Diane Curries, and Miu Miu. The film was a success with more than 1.5 million tickets sold. In 1974, she released La Bonne du Coeur. This song became a classic and is one of her greatest successes, with more than 2 million sales worldwide. At the same time, she continued to make movies like Les Gaspards, directed by Pierre Chernier and starring Michel Serrault, Philippe Noiret, Michel Galabru, Charles Denner, Gerard Depardieu, Chantal Goya, Roger Carrel, Daniel Evernal, Jean Carmet, and Gerard Hernandez. She also played Pupa in the Italian movie Commissariato di Nottina, directed by and starring Rosanna Schiaffino, Gaston Mochin, George Addison, Emma Danieli, Giacomo Furia, Gisela Hon, Leopoldo Trieste, Maurice Ronet, Eugenio Sales, Carlo Giffa, Aldo Beauty Landi, Jean Lefebvre, Michel Damino, Roger Cordio, Narina Montagnani, Lorenzo Piani, Luciano Rossi, Bruno Schiaviani, and Alfredo Verelli. In 1975, she starred in the leading role of Souvenir of Gibraltar, directed by Henry Chamoux, also starring Eddie Constantine. In addition, she played Isabelle's mother in Isabelle de Vauntleroy, starring Jean Rochefort, Anna Colvina, and Matthew Carey. This same year, she also had several musical hits, Docacity, Jane La Tarzan, and one of her most famous hits, Frida am Popper. In 1976, she returned to musicals in a production named Nini La Chance. She had the lead role in what turned out to be a huge success. This musical produced a hit for Cordy with song with the musical's title for its name, Nini La Chance. Outside of Nini, Cordy had other hits this same year with Lobobt, Disporquoi to me Batslan, and Ka Iremu Domain, which became a cult favorite. She starred in High Street, a movie directed by Andrew Ernett in which she had the leading part. In this film she played alongside Mort Schumann and Elliot Tiber. In 1977, she played the Baron Jacinthe de la Tronchambiers in the first and only movie directed by Guy Lux, Jules Dusbers. The movie also starred Sim, Alice Saprich, Patrick Prigene, Raymond Bussiris, Kotyachenko, Len Zitrin, Petua Clark, Coluche, and Claude Franois. The director and writer Michel Audiard said about Cordy that he was sorry she had to sing crappy songs because she did an impressive duet with Bourvil. He thought her a wonderful blues singer and a great actress, and she deserved to sing a way better song. In 1978, she released another musical hit which became a classic, Hiks Voot. This same year, she made her first television movie. First, she played in La Belle Indifferente from Jean Cocteau's play, starring alongside Elaine Dillon. Then, she played in a television adaptation of Molière's The Miser. In this staging she played Frosine, alongside Henry Verligeau and Paul Boist. In 1980, she had several musical successes, including Senorita Raspa, La Cucaracha, Les Artistes, and Ma Plus Jolie Chanson. But her most successful title was Toti Yo-Yo, which became another of her songs to develop a cult following. Now, let's shift our focus to and embark on an intellectual exploration of its various dimensions. In 1981, she played M'Hortons in the TV movie written by Didier Dekin, Les Finales de Fou, alongside P. Emlet and Paul Leperson. She also played the leading role in the TV movie Madame Sans, an adaptation of Victorien Sardou's play, in which she appeared with Raoul Billery. The same year she made her stage drama debut with the same play, Madame Sans. In 1982, she's a poet in the final musical in which she had the leading part, in Voyez la Musique. The same year on television, she had her own TV series, Madame SOS. It lasted one season. She played alongside Jean-Pierre Dorez and Jean Herville. The series' soundtrack, Si Jetais le Soleil, was sung by Cordy. She had also another musical success with Nini Pompon. In 1983, after 6 years of absence from the cinema, she returned with Le Braconnier de Dieu, directed by Jean-Pierre Dorez, in which she played the leading female part. The movie also starred Pierre Mondi, Jean Lefebvre, Michel Galabru, Daniel Secaldi, Catherine Allegret, Rosie Vart, Odette Law, Marv Mercadia, Paul Boist, and Roger Pierre. Meanwhile, Cordy experienced yet another musical success with the song Le Rockner. In 1985, she had another musical hit which became a cult favorite, Chococo. In 1986, she appeared principally in theatre, with 3 plays in 1 year. First as Madame de Sévigné, in the play of the same name, in which she played the centre role. Then, she played in La Mienne Chapelet Rigin at the Foutre d'Olzava. And finally, she played in Merci Apolline, an original play. In 1987, she resumed her role in the classic play Madame Sans Jean that she had already played in 1981, on stage and in a TV movie. In 1989, she appeared in one episode of the French television series Le Bon Herdin Face, in which she played in Laeken. in an episode directed by Teferet. She also starred in the play Mademoiselle Plume in the leading role. In 1990, she returned to cinema after a 7-year break with the movie Impasse la Vignette. In this film she played alongside Paul Crochet, Jean-Paul Camat, and Jean-Yves Berthelout. Her performance was praised by the critics and she won the Best Actress award at the Festivals de Digne. This same year, she had the leading role in the television series Outrageous, in which she appeared during 9 episodes, next to Gerard Klein, Claire Niebout, Jacques Dufilho, Pierre Vonneck, and Patti Chow. She also appeared on stage with the play Sac Gladys, in which she had the leading role, next to Jacques Balutin. As we enter this new phase, let's uncover the impact on our broader topic. While Cordy continued to give concerts and musical compilations were released with her past albums, she was more present on television as an actress. After a 2-year break, she was back in 1993 when she appeared in the TV series Inspector Muse next to Francis Perrin, Christophe Boursiler, Jacques Seiler, and Maus Diouf. 1994 was a big year for her. First, she starred in the movie La Vengeance d'une Blonde, directed by Jeanette Schroek, and with Christian Clavier, Marie-Anne Chazelle, Clementine Kilaury, Thierry Hermit, Marc de Jong, Philippe Carsand, Angelo Infanti, and Urbain Cancelliere. It was a big success with more than 2 million tickets sales at the box office. It was the 4th most successful French film of the year 1994 in France, behind An Indian in the City, The Professional, and L'Ossete de l'Opère. She played Bertown, the central character, in the TV movie La Fille du Roi, which also stars Raoul Billery. This same year, she appeared in 2 plays. First, 6 Hires au Plastard with Xavier Percy and then La Clestine with Gerard Chambre. In both plays, she played the lead character. In 1995, she played in her first short film, Vrown Vrown, written by Eduardo Manet, in which she starred next to Michael Lonsdale, Claire Niebout, and Jean-Paul Camat. She played in 1 episode of the TV series Boldy, next to her friend Charles Aznavour. She also had the leading role in the TV movie Fanny C'est Fate Inscrite. She also sang for the French soundtrack of Pocahontas, named Écoute ton coeur. In 1996, she played in a short called Moi Jaime Albert, alongside Andrew Paus. She also played in an episode of Le Refuge, starring Maxime Leroux and directed by Elaine Schutzstein. In 1997, she played in 3 TV movies. First, Le Diable en Sabots from a novel by Claude Sinel, in which she played Marie Feur, alongside Patrick Prigeen. Then, she played the leading role in Henri Combes' Fate Plus, with Nathalie Beautiful and Xyle Vassort. Finally, she played Solange Serpet in Sans Kermany, directed by Michel Lang, written by Claude Danner, and also starring Charles Aznavour and Caroline Wosicek. In 1998, to mark her 50-year career, she gave a concert at the Olympia. Her friends Georges Moustaki, Guy Bart, Nicoletta, Benjamin Costoldi, Sim, Claude Peplou, Michel Lieb, Laurent Guerra, Didier Gustin, and many others were present at the event. In 1999, she played in the short Un Nol de Chien, written and directed by Nadine Monfils, and also starring Jean-Claude Dreyfus. In 2000, she appeared in a 2nd episode of the TV series Boldy, in which she'd already played in 1995, still next to her friend Charles Aznavour. She was also back on stage with a play written by William Shakespeare, Les Joyeuses Commeries de Windsor, The Merry Wives of Windsor. She acted in this play with Patrick Prigeen. She has also participated in the series of concerts organized by Les Enfoyers, where she shared the song Un Bel Histoire with Elaine Saushin and Francis Cabrel. With the foundation laid, let's embark on a journey into. In 2001, she starred in the TV movie La Tortue with Pascal Arbillet. In 2002, she starred in 2 TV movies. First, Les Rebelles de Moissac, with Francois Bertin and Maurice Chevit, and then Passage du Bac, with Charles Aznavour, Alexis Thomasian, Bernard Blanken, and Urbain Cancelliere. In 2003, Annie played Lucette, the central character in an episode of Fabien Cosma, with Luis Careen Nabatey and Gerard Hernandez. In 2004, she played in the short film Zarpo. She was also back in the motion picture Madame Edouard, after 10 years of having not appeared in any film. Madame Edouard also starred Michel Blanc, Didier Bourdon, Dominique Lovenant, Joshin Belasco, Rufus, Andra Ferrell, and Bowie Lanners. For her role in Les Femmes de Cristal, she received the Woman Crystal Award in the category Cinema and Theatre. In 2005, she appeared in an episode of Le Tutor with Tony Zammario. In 2006, Cordy played Rose, the leading female character in the movie Le Dernier de Faust. The movie is based on the novel The Last of the Crazy People written by Timothy Findley. She was in the movie with Dominique Raymond. She also starred in C'est Beau and Ville la Nuit, directed by Richard Boringer, and also featuring Roman Boringer, Robinson Stovanin, Luc Thwillier, Jacques Spicer, Farid Chopel, Daniel Duval, Annie Girardot, Sonia Rolland, Christian Morin, and Paul Person. She's also appeared on stage in Lily and Lily, a play in which she had the leading part, with Christian Morin and Firmin Richard. She was also the narrator for the documentary Wa Belgique on RTBF, in which she related the history of her country, Belgium. In 2008, she played Graindwodge in Disco Fabien Omteniant's movie starring Emmanuel Bart, Gerard Depardieu, Samuel Le Bihan, Isabelle Nanty, Schlo Lambert, Marie-Christine Adam, Pauline Delpech, Xavier Beauvois, and Daniel Lebrun. The film was a big success with more than 2 million tickets sold in France. It was the third most successful French movie in France in 2008, just behind Welcome to the Sticks and Asterix at the Olympic Games. This same year, she played in Le Crime est notre affaire, directed by Pascal Thomas and based on the novel 4.5 from Paddington, written by Agatha Christie. The movie also starred Catherine Frote, Andrea Dussolier, Claude Rich, Chiara Mastroianni, Melville Pabbott, Christian Verdine, Hippolyte Girardot, and Eva Fonso. This was also a success with more than 1 million tickets sold in France. Also in 2008, the channel RTBF organized a special night for Annie, named Quelque chose en nous Annie Cordy, in which a number of artists appeared to pay a tribute to her. In 2009, she played in Wild Grass, a movie directed by Alain Resnais and starring Sabine Lasma, Andrea Dussolier, and Consini, Emmanuel Devos, Mathieu Amalric, Michel Willemers, Edouard Baird, Sarah Forestier, Nicolas Duvachel, Paul Crotchet, and Jean-Michel Rides. This same year, she started a new play, Les Morsortes, in which she was alone on the stage, playing the part of a great star who is locked out on her balcony and so talks and reminisces about her entire career. After the huge success of the play in 2009, she started a tour in the whole of France in 2010. In 2011, she played in the low-budget movie Crimes en Sordin with Annick Alain, Jeanette Garcin, and Patrick Prigeen. The same year she was back in a studio with an original album, Comme il plait pour vous que vous place, in which she sang songs written for her by artists such as Charles Aznavour or Alice Dona. In 2012, she had the leading role in the TV movie Je retourne chez Montmartre, starring also Rufus and Kotyachenko. She also appeared in an episode of Skizdomanich. In 2013, she appeared in an episode of the TV series Yopozds, broadcast on France 2, alongside Jem Commander, Marv Villalonga, Claude Brasseur, Carmen Mora, and Ariel Dombasel. In 2014, she played in Le Dernier Diamant, alongside Yvan Attal, Baroness Bijot, Jean-Francois Stovanin, and Jacques Spicer. She also appeared in an episode of H-Man, a TV series broadcast on Art. Alongside Arthur H. She also released a Christmas album for December with 30 jazz musicians named Annie Cordy Chant Noel. In 2015, she was given the leading role in Les Souvenirs, directed by Jean-Paul Rouve, and also starring Chantal Lobby and Michel Blanc. The movie was a great success with over 1 million tickets sold. She also played in France's TV series Chefs, with a recurrent character next to Hugo Becker, Anne Cherrier, Clovis Cornelic, Juliet, Nicholas Gobb, Robin Renucci, and Zinedine Sauerlam. She was involved in the album Joyeux anniversaire Monsieur Dutrink, which paid tribute to Jacques Dutrink. This year, she also walked up the stairs to the 2015 Cannes Film Festival. She was also invited to the Festival du Film Francophone Zangolm for a tribute to Belgian cinema, wherein Pastor La Vignette and High Street were presented. In 2016, she walked up the stairs to the 2016 Cannes Film Festival to see the movie The Unknown Girl before the movie Le Cancre was presented with the cast. In July 2018, for her 90th birthday, she was the guest of honor of the Homme Gang of Brussels. A couple of days after this event, on 8 August, the park next to the train station in Laeken, the city where she was born, was named after her. Get ready for a thought-provoking discussion as we delve into death and its impact on our understanding. On 4 September 2020, Cordy suffered cardiac arrest at her home in Valoris, France, where she lived with her niece. Attempts to revive her were unsuccessful and she was pronounced dead. She was 92 years old. Brace yourself for an enlightening exploration of popular culture as we dive into its profound implications. Albert Uderzo gave Annie Cordy a cameo as the wife of the Belgian chieftain in the Asterix comic book story Asterix in Belgium. As we progress through this video, let's now turn our gaze towards honors. 2005, Baroness of Belgium. 24 October 2013, Commander of the Order of the Crown. 2022, Lopoldi Tunnel in Molenbeek Saint-Jean renamed Annie Cordy Tunnel. Our focus now turns to dubbing, an important aspect of our discussion. Year title role 1993, Once Upon a Forest, Bosworth 1995, Pocahontas grandmother Willow 2003, Brother Bear Nanaka. Get ready for a captivating exploration as we unravel the layers of box office and their profound significance. Movies starring Annie Cordy with more than 1 million entries in France. Films Director Year France entries 1 Royal Affairs in Versailles, Sacha Guitry 1954 to the singer from Mexico Richard Potier 1956 3 Rider on the Rain Flint 1974 Beautiful but Dangerous Robert Z. Leonard 1956 5 April Fool's Day Gilles Grandier 1954 6 Disco Fabien Ontenian 2008 7 La Vengeance Dune Blonde Janet Schwick 1994 8 Bouncer Paris Maurice de Canonge 1953 9 Sis Messieurs de la Famille Roll and 1968 10 El Court La Banlieue Garage Piers 1973 11 Hello Smile Claude Sautet 1956 12 Crime is Our Business Pascal Thomas 2008 13 Cigarettes, Whiskey and Wild Women Maurice Gamy 1959 14 Les Souvenirs Jean-Paul Rao 2015 15 Le Chat Pierre Granier de Fer 1971 16 Systems Senment Roll and 1965. Now, let's delve into the intricacies of theatre and explore its various aspects. Year title author director notes 1958 Madame Sans Victorien Sudau and Emile Moreau with Jean-Marc Thibault 1986 Madame de Sivine Lomien Chepelet Regine Guerre Amon Delcamp Thoutre de Zovomacy Apolline Genevieve Martin Michelwin with Gaitrin 1987 Madame Sans Victorien Sudau and Emile Moreau 1989 Mademoiselle Plume Jean-Luc Moreau with Charlotte Cady 1990 Sac Gladys with Jacques Balutin 1990 6 hires Opas Tud Mark Perrier Martin Willacrid with Xavier Percy Lockleston with Gerard Chamber 2000 The Merry Wives of Windsor William Shakespeare with Patrick Pryden 2006 Lily and Lily Pierre Barrelet and Jean-Pierre Grady Gerard Maulevrier with Jacques Serin, Christian Morin and Fermin Richard 2009 2010 Laissez-moi sortir Jean-Marie Chibret Jean-Pierre Drabble and Olivier Macthout Dono. I love hearing from you, so leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments.